92.7 Kiss FM, today's R&B and classic soul. It's your homeboy Clee. Hey, the website's www.92.7kissfm.com. You know what it is. You can go there and get your folks on the local celebrity birthday roll call. Well, it is time that we check in with the doctor and make sure that our health is our wealth. Dr. Pam Ross, she is the founder of Holistic Medical Consultants. She is here in the studio. Good morning. Dr. Ross, how are you?
Good morning, Clee. How are you?
I think I'm doing pretty good this morning.
Excellent.
Sometimes it's kind of fuzzy, but I think it's all going to turn out for the good.
It all works out for the good.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay. So this morning.
Yeah.
It's still Heart Month.
It is still Heart Month. February is Heart Health Month.
Okay, we're still talking about the heart then.
We're still talking about the heart.
Okay.
Well, today, you've heard the expression, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yes.
All right. So I want to talk about things that happen in children.
Okay.
There is a preventable heart problem that children get. You've ever heard of rheumatic fever?
I have heard of rheumatic fever, and then when you say that, it's like I've heard of it. It's like an old thing I've heard of since I was a kid.
Oh, it's
never knew what it was.
It's been around for a long time.
Never knew what it was.
Rheumatic fever is an inflammatory reaction that can happen after a child gets strep throat.
Oh, okay.
Generally, have you ever heard of strep throat or had it?
I've had strep throat,
It's very painful.
Yes,
very
it is.
painful, pretty miserable condition. But generally, rheumatic fever is something that occurs anywhere from 14 to 28 days after a strep throat infection.
After the infection has happened?
After the infection has happened.
Oh, okay.
Now, and it only occurs, believe it or not, it is at risk because people don't get antibiotics for it. That's what puts a child at risk for it.
Oh, so for instance, they may have had an infection. Parents thought it might have been a cold or something, and they just treat it naturally to think the child's better.
Exactly.
But okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And not a lot of people, not everybody who gets strep throat and doesn't get antibiotics, not everybody's going to go on to develop rheumatic fever. But we do know that the number one way to prevent rheumatic fever is to treat strep throat with antibiotics. Now, strep throat is contagious, but if a person goes on to develop rheumatic fever, that's not contagious.
Oh, okay.
And the most common age group, now you'll see it, you can see this in adults, but the most common age group that gets this or is at risk for this condition are children between the ages of 5 and 15 years old. What rheumatic fever does is it can scar the heart valves, but it can also affect the joints, it can affect your skin, and it can affect the brain.
Wow.
And some of the common symptoms that you'll see are chest pain or shortness of breath, sore or swollen joints, maybe a skin rash or little nodules all over the skin, a fever, belly pain is a common condition, and then rare but very classic is these really, really jerky movements that we call Sydenham's chorea. Now, just because a person gets rheumatic fever, it doesn't always involve the heart, and the most important way to prevent it is to get prompt diagnosis and treatment of strep throat.
Okay.
So if you think your child might be suffering from strep throat, it's important to get in and see your primary care practitioner. So
I guess now the rule of thumb that we should all be taking from this is if there is strep throat or even the thought of strep throat.
Yes.
Because as I remember, strep throat a little bit different than sore throat. It feels totally different. So if you even think that that's the case, then we should always be getting that child treated. Then.
Absolutely. It's important to have it checked. Now, there are simple tests that can be done to check for strep throat. And a lot of times, a lot of people will feel like they have it, but they don't have it.
Okay.
But it is important to check if you think that that's what you're dealing with, because treating strep throat has been shown to prevent rheumatic fever. And that's a heart condition that our children deserve not to get.
I think you're right. We thank you, Dr. Ross.
Sure.
All right. So, folks, if you have any questions, if you want to get in contact with Dr. Ross, where can they reach you?
They can reach me at www.drpamelaross.com. I'd love to receive your questions.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.